So, Congressman Andy Biggs, obviously we're ready in your state of Arizona. We're ready to go. We are loaded for bear. We're ready to get the heck out of here. We're wound up like 8-day clocks. We're pent up. We want to go get this economy started again. Is the light at the tunnel an oncoming train, or is it actual light?
And I sure hope it's light. I hope we're going to open up here. I mean, I keep encouraging people to open up. There's no authority to say that you're essential and someone else is non-essential. You can't tell people they can't worship. This is just really taken on a life of its own. Bill Barr put out another memo today, reiterating some of the civil constitutional rights violations that are going on throughout the states. We have over 27 million people unemployed in this country today. We have you're probably adding another 3 or 4 million by the end of this week. Most Americans think we're in a recession. If having almost 30 million people unemployed, a contracting economy isn't as close to depression as we've seen in 100 years, I don't know what is. It's time to face the facts that we can handle freedom. Americans can handle freedom. And if you don't want to get out, I trust you. Stay in, and you should stay in. If you're sick, if you're vulnerable, stay in. But let everybody else have the right to go out, try to earn a living, and build this country. And we'll be responsible. We'll be responsible.
We love that. Yeah, Congressman Biggs, we love that standpoint. We totally agree here at Russell and Hunter. So I just want to bring up Congressman Adam Schiff for just a second. I know I shouldn't, but he's already talked about an investigation. But perhaps the investigation should be into the decisions that were made into making this economy what it is. And did we, in fact, overreact to this and give in to fear versus letting freedom win?
Yeah, I mean, but here's the deal. You can never trust Adam Schiff to do an investigation, okay? I just want to be real clear on that because he is not an honest broker on anything. And his whole purpose, Pelosi's purpose, is to go after Donald J. Trump and the people who support Trump. So you can't trust Schiff. If you want to start talking about what did China know, when did they know it, and how they prevented us from taking action around the world, I'm all for that. If you want to say what were the Democrats doing when President Trump was saying, well, let's close off travel from China because that is the source of this virus that we aren't sure what's going on with, and they called him a racist and a xenophobe and said, oh, he's merely trying to distract us. Well, what was he trying to distract you from in their minds? Oh, the fact that they were impeaching him with a non-impeachment. So you'd never trust Adam Schiff. That's the bottom line.
And I agree with that. And Congressman Andy Biggs joins us, and I think we're all well aware of that one. We just do not trust him as far as we can throw them. So let me ask you this: is a fourth stimulus necessary? Have we just gone too far down the rabbit hole that we have to spend another few $1 trillion, or can this be stopped? What would the states need to do? How many states would have to reopen before someone would say we don't need another $2 or $3 or $4 trillion stimulus package?
Look, I'm telling you, we don't need another stimulus package right now, but I can guarantee you the money that just came out last Friday is going to be used up probably by the end of this week. They've already been inundated with applications today. The new idea is now basically to say we're going to give money to every small business in America. That's really what they're saying. And I don't know how many trillions of dollars that boils down to. And then the phase 4, they're talking about, Nancy Pelosi announced today that she's got to have at least $700 billion, and that's before she's even loaded up with Christmas tree ornaments from her team. So I'm just telling you, we should stop and see what the stimulus, what the relief packages, what they will produce before you immediately put some more in. We know one thing they're producing $4 trillion of structural deficit if we don't spend another penny this year. But we're going to spend another $1.5 trillion or $2 trillion just trying to keep the lights on, pay for all the other things that we have to pay for. So you're going to probably add $5 to $6 trillion of structural deficit without really doing any more stimulus packages. And I'm just saying, folks, that contextually, if you want to prolong a recession, you create a sovereign debt crisis which is what we're in the process of doing in the United States Congress, and shame on us.
Congressman Andy Biggs joining us. Final question we have for you. I want to pick up right where you are with that, as House Speaker Nancy Pelosi sort of said we should investigate this personal income per person, like $2,000 a month, and then you get add-ons if you have kids, etc. How are the Republicans going to make sure that that does not happen?
Well, we've got to make sure that the Senate, because this is all going to originate in the Senate again. And why is that? Because if you get the Republicans in the Senate on board on a bill, then you're going to probably get the Democrats in the House on board on a bill. We've got to stop that in the Senate. We've got to just say, look, no more. Absolutely no more. Because you're right. They're talking about everything from a $2,000 a month income for every American over 18 for the next 3 or 4 months. They can't even tell you what they think that'll do to the economy. But I can tell you this, it won't have the stimulus effect they think, because the studies on the previous stimulus impacts on these dollar per month giveaways, or whatever you want to call them, have produced negative results. They haven't produced the results that they thought they would produce.
And they're definitely not going to produce results if somebody's making $2,000 or $4,000 or $5,000 as a family. It's not going to produce people going back to work and filling these jobs that are going to become available once the light switched to green, right?
Yeah, I mean, already there are stories that I'm accumulating. My staff are accumulating on a daily basis of people around the country who say, "Well, look, I can't open up my business, even though it looks like I'm going to be an essential business or whatever, because with a $600 enhanced unemployment benefit added on top of the state benefit, if you're making $14, $15 an hour, you make more money staying unemployed, and that's a 10, 12-week benefit. So people are not going back. Businesses can't open up, and economies and life are all about incentives. I don't do something if I'm disincentivized. I do something else if I'm incentivized somewhere else. And we put a perverse incentive in place. And guess what? The senators that voted for that, they knew that. They tried to fix it. And the Democrats said no. They brought it over to the House. And Nancy Pelosi wouldn't even let us offer amendments again and again. We've tried to offer amendments. She won't even let us present them, much less offer them.
That's unreal.
And of course, you leave the perverse incentives in there.
Well, Congressman Biggs, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.